Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my Sunday share. I'm going to give it a few seconds for everyone to find me. I announced my class quite a bit tonight because I did this really neat technique on one of my cards and everybody wanted to know how to do it. So a couple things before we get started. Here's my hostess code for the month of March. Make sure you use this code when you check out of my online store. For those of you that guys that placed orders in February, I emailed you today. You earned almost $12 each. So everyone that used the code gets to do a little mini shopping spree, and they get to pick $12 of their choice. Some months it's a little higher than that even. So make sure you use that hostess code when you go shopping. Now, sale-a-bration, I just wanted to make an announcement because 2 more days, the second release will be starting, and we have some new products that you guys will get to pick for free. I featured those a couple nights ago in one of my videos. And as far as the first release, there's a few products that are gone, that they're sold out. So the metallic baker's twine is gone, and the kerchief kit is also gone. Some of these will be disappearing soon too because some of our sale-a-bration products are so wonderful they always run out. Now before I get started, I wanted to draw my door prize for the month of February, which was the little ladybug stamp set. These are all of the orders from my February, so I'm going to go ahead and pick a name. And the winner is Debbie Vaccaro. So she is the winner of my little ladybug set. And let me show you what I have for the month of March. I have a package of the flower faceted gems and a spool of the real red ruched ribbon. So these 2 items will be my door prize for the month of March. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, I did a video, my last video was showing you guys how to create this card that had 6 gift card holders on the inside. I had somebody ask me about the 1-inch circle punch that I had mentioned that we needed for supplies. I did forget to do this in the card that I created live. This is where the 1-inch punch would have gone on each card holder. You would insert halfway through to cut a little notch on each one of these. So I just wanted to mention that in case you watched the video and you wondered why I hadn't used the 1-inch circle punch. For you guys that have never done videos, it's very stressful sometimes and we do forget steps. We're normal people, so that's why I just wanted to mention it tonight in case you wondered. So tonight's project is the alcohol marker marbling technique. I'm actually going to be using the Thoughtful Bloom stamp set and the Sending You Thoughts. Now these are both sale-a-bration sets that you can earn for free. We also have the coordinating small bloom punch that you can earn for free during sale-a-bration. What else am I using? I am using Rococo Rose ink, Night of Navy ink. I'm going to do this technique twice just to show you guys the different color combinations. So for the first one, I am using the dark So Saffron. Let me see. I think these are all dark. Nope, this one is light Night of Navy. I can't see this. Dark Rococo Rose and dark Bermuda Bay. And I'll tell you what the other set is. This is what I'm going to use on the first one. I'm also using the Label Me Fancy punch. You do need rubbing alcohol, and I used one of our stamping spritzers and just filled it with rubbing alcohol. And let me show you what the card looks like. So this is different than what you saw on my blog a couple days ago. This is the background I'm going to show you how to make. I'm actually using a 5x7 piece, so I have an extra piece of paper that I can do a background with. There's enough there for 2 cards, so let me show you what else we need for supplies. I've got Night of Navy for the card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Just gonna fold that and get it ready for the card assembly. I have Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 4. That's layer number 2. Rococo Rose, this is to stamp all of my flowers on that you see here. I got 2 layers of flowers. Let me show those to you. You can see how they're popped with 2 layers. A scrap of Whisper White for the sentiment. And then because Stampin' Up! No longer sells glossy paper, I'm actually using regular photo paper. You can see that this is the shiny photo paper. These 2 pieces measure 5 by 7. I didn't cut them, that's how they come. And then I'm also using the gold enamel dots. And lastly, I have some die cuts that I did ahead of time. Bermuda Bay and Night of Navy. And that comes from the Flourish Thinlit set. So this is the large flower die, and then this is the border die that I'm using. Okay, so let me clear my counter. So I'm going to go ahead and do one color, and that's the one I'm going to create the card with. And then I'll show you a different color combination while the first one dries. So how you start is with a large piece of saran wrap. I'm just going to flatten it out. I'm going to bring in the 4 colors that I showed you. And I'm also going to get my spritzer close. And all I'm going to do is color. Make sure you color large enough so that it's going to cover the piece of paper we're going to use. This is the So Saffron. And I'm trying to do this rather quickly. And it doesn't really matter how messy or how neat this is. You're going to see why once I start going. The last one is the Bermuda Bay. And let's see, a little bit over here. Now, by the time you're done the last color, it has time to dry. So that's where the rubbing alcohol comes in. Make sure your squirter is facing down. You're going to add a lot of rubbing alcohol only because you want to reactivate the color. I love the smell of the rubbing alcohol too. Okay, I have quite a bit there. Now I'm going to take the photo paper. I'm going to turn the glossy side down. And then watch the edge as I press. You can see some of the liquid seeping out. You want that to happen because that's where the marbling is going to take place. Okay, so I think I have that pretty well. I'm going to pull this over and look how pretty that is. It kind of looks like tie-dye even. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of paper and put this one aside. Let me get rid of this. And I think you could do more than one application with your saran wrap. Now let me bring another piece in. And I'm going to show you the colors I'm going to use. Hold on, I got my saran wrap all tucked over here. Okay, I think I'm good anyway. I'll just work more towards the right. Now the next set I'm going to use is Dark Mint Macaron, Light Soft Suede. Oh, I can see a lot of hearts. You guys like that. This one is the Dark Highland Heather and Light Calypso Coral. Thanks for the hearts, everyone. I knew you'd like this. So now let's go ahead and do some coloring. Now you probably won't see this one as much only because it's the Light Mint Macaron. But you'll see it on the glossy paper after I do what I need to do. This is the Highland Heather. And next is the Calypso Coral. Again, this is a lighter color. And the last one is the Light Soft Suede. I thought the brown would look kind of neat in there. Okay, so again, I'm going to do the rubbing alcohol. And I spray a lot. You can see that it gets activated once it hits the color. And that's because it's alcohol marker and rubbing alcohol. They're working together. Now again, I'm going to take the glossy side, upside down, push. And you do want to let this sit just for a little bit so it absorbs the color. But you can see it all seeping out on the sides there. So you know that you have a lot of rubbing alcohol when you're doing that. Okay, now I'm going to lift it up. And look how pretty that is. I love the look of that one also. So you can do as many colors or as little as you want. I used 4 colors on both of these samples. Now I'm going to bring this back in. I'm going to have to use my heat tool to finish drying it. So I'm going to make a little bit of noise. So there's actually enough on here to make 2 cards with because it's 5 by 7. This one was actually almost dry. The rubbing alcohol dries quite fast. I'm going to have to cut this with my trimmer, so that's why I want to make sure it's nice and dry. I'm going to also flip it over. It's the edges that get most of the wetness. Rhonda, does it matter the percent for the alcohol? I'm using 70%, so even if it's higher, I don't see where it would make a difference because it activates the color from the Stampin' or the Stampin' Blends. Okay, that looks pretty dry. So now let me bring out everything else I need. What I'll do is set this aside and we'll do the punching. Because let me bring the card back in. I actually need 10 flowers. And then here's my little die cuts. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp 10 flowers. Now a little tip, when you're punching, if you're new to stamping, always make sure you look at the photo at the top here of your punch. Because you want the petals to face the same direction you're going to punch, so you don't have to reach in too far or you don't have to use your scissors to get to them. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 flowers. I'm going to go ahead and punch those. And I did use the mini dimensionals in between all of my layers because I wanted a lot of height on my flowers. And then the only other thing I need to do is stamp the sentiment and punch that out also. I did the die cuts ahead of time just to save time. And you know what? I'm going to have to actually measure with a ruler. I can't remember the measurement I used on my card front. Now let's go ahead. There's my flowers. Now I'm using Night of Navy for the sentiment. I really need a lot of birthday cards. I have a group, a Stampin' Ink Designs group that anyone can join, and each month we do birthday cards. And I am totally out of birthday cards after mailing all of the ones for March. So you're probably going to see me doing a lot of birthday cards. Okay, so there's my sentiment. So now let me dig out my ruler. I just need to measure how big I made this. So that's 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Now I'm going to bring in my little chomper, my little trimmer. This is a great trimmer that you can earn for free when you join my team. Now this is exactly 3 1/2. And I'm actually going to, I don't have my templates. Oh yes, I do. I did a video showing you guys how to make templates when it's longer than the 4 1/4 inches. So I'm actually 3 3/4. You know what? I didn't measure that correctly. I'm looking at the wrong measurement. This is 4 3/4. And I do not have a template. So let me switch to my bigger trimmer. I should have made sure I had a larger template. So I just need to cut just 1/4 of an inch off. I'm going to do both of them only so it'll be ready for my next card, but I am only using one tonight. Now let me bring the other one in. You can see here how nicely this is drying. I love the soft suede mixed in with the Highland Heather. Didn't the Highland Heather change color? Look at the cover. What a difference. It brightened it right up on the photo paper. Okay, now let's bring all the layers in and assemble the card. So I'm going to glue the Whisper White first. The reason I used white is because I felt that these colors were so bright, I just needed the white to make it stand out. And because this is photo paper, I'm actually going to use liquid glue. And hopefully I won't miss any steps tonight. Now that's going to go right on as layer number 3. So look how pretty that is. Isn't that neat? All those colors. I'm going to bring my scrap paper back in so I can add my little die cuts. I'm actually going to use my sponge. These are a lot easier to glue in place by just smushing the glue on there. Okay, there's the first one. That's going to go right on the front. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then we're going to do the same with this one. Now I can get rid of the scrap paper. And this is going to lay right there. I'm actually going to flip it upside down just to smush it. So there's my 2 die cuts. Now we need to bring all of these flowers in, and you get to see me put all of these dimensionals on. So I'm going to do the back of the first layer. So by doing the 2 colors, or the 2 photo sheets, I did them all at once. I actually will have enough panels to do 4 cards. Now I'm just going to lay these right over the die cut. This will be the longest part, is adding all of these flowers. But it's worth it, right? Now I felt, even though there's no die cut right here, I felt that there was a blank spot. So I'm kind of just adding it there. Nobody knows there's no branch there. I'm going to add another layer of mini dimensionals. These mini dimensionals are perfect for these blossom flowers. Okay, so now we got 5 more flowers to add. And when I glue the flowers down, I'm actually going to make sure that the petals go in between where there's a space. So it just makes it look so good as a double layered flower. Okay, that one goes right there. 2 more to go. I guess that wasn't too bad, was it? Okay, then we're going to add the sentiment. And again, I'm gluing on photo paper. So I'm going to do liquid glue on the back. I'm actually going to tuck that under the die cut. Make sure it's nice and straight. And lastly, I'm going to add some of the gold enamel shapes. I'm trying to use these up because I don't know if these are going to carry over to the new catalog in June, so I'm trying to use them up. This is the last of it. So I've got like the medium-sized one in the center, and then I'm going to take all these little tiny ones and just add them within the die cuts. So we got a lot of bling on this card. Let's see, I've got 2 more of these little tiny ones. So I'm just going to use them up. Whoops. There we go. There's my card. I don't think I forgot anything. Here's my leftover panel. And I'm going to bring the other one back in so you can see the different colors on this one also. So there's my card for tonight. I hope you enjoyed my technique. And I will be back on next Sunday. I'm going to have a card fold for you on next Sunday at the same time, 7:30 p.m. So thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you give this technique a try. Have a good remainder of your Sunday. Good night.